What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the CPI, what it means, what you can expect potentially of it today, what you can expect if it comes through higher, lower, and basically just give you everything about the CPI. Without any further ado, let's get straight into it. And that's about it. So the consumer spending index, basically it is what it say it is, right? It's what consumers are spending index. So it's basically a chart that displays what consumers are spending. Okay, that's the simplified version. It's like me when I talk about support and resistance, right? Support got broken and became a resistance. I can say the order block got mitigated and mitigated, but I don't have the time for that, right? We know the market works off, bounces off support and resistance. Price action is created through market structure. So there's support resistance, then there's supply and demand. If there is anything, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's child support and roof resistance. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's something else, because the SMC concept is just the change of wording, but it's the some of the words has been changed, but it's kind of the same concept, because even smart money traders, they buy off these these areas, unless you're buying off a different level. But I'm not here to speak about that. I've had my fun for the past 2 weeks, and I must say, woo! The comment section is wow. Yeah, some of you need a prayer. But in any case, let's come back to this video. So when we talk about the consumer spending index, right, it is basically telling us it's basically giving us an indication of what consumers spend on a basket of goods and services. In South Africa, to fill up a basket of goods and services costs the average consumer 5,400, almost the same amount of money that it costs to pay someone to do a course, right? Now, what we are going to learn today is how the CPI is going to impact the market. Now, the one thing that you need to understand, CPI is directly tied to interest rates, but CPI, the consumer spending index, is there for two reasons. So the reason number one, the Fed's target, or the job of the Federal Reserve, is to make sure that they keep consumer spending down. They keep inflation as low as possible, right? Now, the only way for the Feds to do that is to basically keep the interest rates low. Now, how does this work, right? Let me explain to you. So how does this work? So when you lower interest rate, you are encouraging consumers to go out there and spend money because interest rates are low. But this can only happen if inflation is what? Low, right? So if inflation is low, interest rate will be low as well. And this encourages consumers to go out there and spend more money at a lower interest rate. A good example of this is look at COVID. At COVID, what happened was that when COVID hit, all the central bank dropped the interest rate to zero. Consumers were locked up. When they came out, they started spending like crazy, accumulating all of that debt, right? Then inflation went sky high in the US. Then the Fed started hiking the interest rates. Why? To discourage consumers to spend. Why? Because now that debt that they had when interest rates were low, that debt that they accumulated because things were looking nice, has now increased because of the interest rates. Therefore, what happens is that the consumer spending index will increase in value first when interest rates are low, because lower interest rate encourages consumers to go out there and spend, and higher interest rates discourage consumers to spend because of the increase in debt, meaning they have less money to spend. Yakong, you understand that? Do you understand that? Please tell me. Now, how do we put this into perspective? Now, before we get there, this is the forecast for FX Street, right? Okay, it says here the US CPI data preview inflation expected to ease to lowest level since July. Now, according to this news article, they are expecting the CPI to come through lower, much lower than anticipated. What that means is that the forecast currently for the CPI year over year is sitting at 3.7%. They're expecting it to be at 3.3%. Remember what I said, when the consumer price index comes down, that means you can expect interest rates to come down or be kept at a stable rate. This will encourage consumers to go and spend. Where? On the companies such, companies listed on the Nasdaq 100, and therefore what you'll notice is that you'll notice and I'm just going to use the Nasdaq over here. You will notice that the Nasdaq will increase in value and the dollar index will decrease basically in value. We're going to go DXY. We're going to say okay. We're going to say DXY will decrease in value. So why does this happen? Firstly, when interest rates are down, right? Let's start at the beginning, right? Please follow me. I follow you. Okay, let's go. Rates, right? Interest rates there. Now, basically, when the rates are low, you can expect so when inflation's low, you can expect the Feds to lower that interest rate. Now, what that means is that consumers have more money to spend and they pump all their money buying consumer stuff, technology stuff. Most of these companies, they are listed on the stock market, and because of that, they get a nice boost. Therefore, things as the Nasdaq will increase in value. Now, if we turn this around, that basically means that if interest rates goes up, it discourages consumers to spend, meaning that you can expect stock markets to dump because people doesn't have money to go out there and spend, but you expect the dollar index to increase in value because higher interest rate for a country's currency, it doesn't encourage consumers, but it does encourage investors to come and invest in that country's currency. Now, let me do this quickly. Let's lock that and remove everything. Wasn't expecting that to take place. But let's go and let me do this. So what we're going to be looking at the moment is that what is going to happen if consumer spending index comes lower. Now, before we get there, it's important to understand that they say the consumer price index in the US is forecast to go up 3.3% year over year, October down from 3.7% increase. Now, you're probably thinking, why do they say rise to 3.3 when it's at 3.7? They're not supposed to say it's going to go down. Remember, increase, where lower is higher, where lower is better, they will always say higher as opposed to saying lower. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to explain this to you guys like I explained in the last video to a particular person, like a 5-year-old. So what that basically means is that inflation needs to come down for it to be good news, right? So inflation is sitting at 3%. When they say rise to 3.3%, that means it's going in good territory. It's rising, but it's going down because lower in this case is a lot better. If it goes higher or if it goes lower, again, it's just very confusing. But you need to understand the concept behind that is this: lower for inflation is better. Higher is bad. Higher is bad. Just know that. Okay, US CPI inflation report could significantly impact the dollar's valuation by altering the market pricing of the Fed's rate. Yeah, you see, guys. You see there. This is exactly what I said right now. It is exactly what I explained to you guys over here. But no crazy Novia people who, yeah. Any case. Yeah, guys, so about the competition, I'm giving away the 15K account. Please make sure that you are subbed to the channel, that you do follow me on Instagram to be able to stand a chance to win that account. I'll be giving it away early December as a nice Christmas gift to whoever wins it as well. Yeah, that's it. And please, guys, what's what you say here on YouTube? Some of you are like, okay, and don't worry, Marco, if you're watching this video, I won't make any more videos about you. I'm done now. Okay, you said what you wanted to, I said what I wanted to, so we're good. Any case, thank you for your time, and as always, cheers for the years.